Hey guys, it's Jeff from Bobby Combs RV here in Hayden, Idaho again. Just wanted to give you a couple of tips and tricks now that we're heading into the fall season, and you got to start thinking about winterizing your camper. And if we get a cold snap and you're not ready, what do? Well, a couple of things that are important. If we're going to have a cold snap, you need to get the water out of your camper best way you can. Even if you can't do a full winterize, you can always come out to your RV and release the pressure in your water heater. Make sure that that's empty, and there's a little pop-off valve at the top that you usually pull the top on right here, and that'll release your pressure. And you want to undo and remove the plug or your anode rod out of your water heater. That'll allow the water to drain. That's the most important thing. You don't want to freeze, because nobody wants to buy a brand new water heater. If you do use your RV a lot in the winter, and instead of having to bring it to a dealer all the time to get it winterized, there are a couple of little things you can have on hand at home that make it easy for you to use the unit, and then when you get home, winterize it real quick and get the water out of it. Here's a couple of great features that we sell in our parts store. The first one is what they call a tank saver anode kit. So this replaces your anode rod. It's made to fit any tank, and then it has a petcock at the end of it, so you can replace this in there and then just loosen that up when you get home, and it'll drain right out of there without having to pull the anode rod out every single time. So that's a real handy little tool. The other thing that's real handy to have on hand is a little blowout plug, and these are for hooking up to an air compressor. So if you got an air compressor at home and you want to go camping for the weekend, but you're worried about it when you get back being too cold and freezing your lines, you can undo your water heater here, put the air hose onto this, and it connects to your freshwater system, and then you go through and you open up every valve in your unit and let the air blow through it for a couple of minutes, and that'll blow most of that out so that you won't have any issues when you're back from a weekend of camping this fall. We do, however, recommend, if you are going to do long-term storage for the entire winter, we do recommend you use antifreeze in the system. And you can, if you don't already have one, install an RV pump converter kit. These are real handy little tools for winterizing your RV at home as well. This goes right at the end of your water pump, and it has a little bypass here, which allows you to just stick this clear hose into the bucket of antifreeze, and then it will suck the antifreeze in through all of your system and make sure that you have it in there. And the reason why we say use antifreeze in the system is, while air can blow the majority of the water out, you do have low points, and sometimes that water will have a tendency, even after it's blown out, to settle in a couple of low spots in the pipes. And all it takes is a couple of inches of water sitting in a pipe to freeze and crack a fitting, and next spring you'll have some water damage. Whereas when you pump the antifreeze through the system, it pushes all that water out completely, so you don't have to worry about that. But hopefully you found these little tips and tricks helpful, and keep an eye on our website for more helpful tips and tricks. Thanks for watching, guys. Hey guys, just a little safety tip. When you are going to use compressed air to blow out your lines, you never want to connect the air pressure to your system without the valves being open. If you put 100 psi or 120 psi hose and all your valves are shut, you could damage your water system. So make sure your valves are open to allow the airflow to flow through and not overpressure the system, or use a regulator on your airflow to keep it down around that 40-50 psi, which your water pressure regulator does in your camper already.